Hey guys, it's January 5th, 2026. Let me start with something that sounds dramatic, but honestly isn't anymore. Dating has gotten weird. Like, really weird. Not haha, bad first date weird. More like, where did everybody go weird. Because here's what a lot of people are noticing lately, especially women. They're going out to restaurants, bars, coffee shops, and it's just tables of women, groups of women, women alone, women thriving, women ordering desserts, and the men gone, missing, presumed, emotionally unavailable, and this isn't just vibes. Data is backing this up. A lot of men, especially millennial and Gen Z men, are technically on dating apps, but they're not really dating. They're hovering, lurking, observing like emotional wildfire photographers. Profiles with photos from 2018, bios that say absolutely nothing, conversations that die after hey. And women are sitting there like, so is this man interested in me? Or is he just passing time until dinner? So today, I want to talk about what's actually going on here. Not with anger, not with finger pointing, but with honesty and yes, a little humor. Because if we don't laugh, we'll cry. And nobody looks cute crying on Hinge. Here's the core argument: men didn't suddenly become bad people, women didn't suddenly become impossible to please. What did happen is that dating slowly stopped rewarding efforts, and humans respond very predictably to that. So, first, let's talk about the most uncomfortable part. Men stopped trying quietly. Not in a dramatic I quit dating announcement, but more like a slow emotional fade out. A lot of men created dating profiles years ago and never touched them again. Same photos, same bio, same half energy presence. Why? Because effort didn't pay off. When you put real thought into a profile, when you write something clever, when you try to be intentional and you get silence or one word replies or ghosting, eventually your brain goes, okay, so why am I even trying? That's not evil, that's conditioning. And when effort doesn't equal reward, effort disappears. So men adapt, they lower investment, they swipe while watching Netflix, they respond when bored, they stop leading. And here's the irony: women interpret this as laziness, men experience it as emotional self protection. Two completely different internal stories, same external behavior. Now, here's where things get even more complicated because younger men, especially Gen Z, are dealing with something older generations never had to: the fear of being filmed. Imagine trying to flirt, knowing it could end up on someone's story with a caption like, Bro thought he had a chance. That's not rejection, that's a public humiliation. A moment that should have lasted 5 awkward seconds now lives forever on the internet. So men start moving differently. They overthink texts, They avoid impersonal approaches. They play it safe to the point of invisibility. And when fear becomes part of dating, curiosity dies. Instead of, let me get to know her, it becomes, how do I not mess this up? That defensive posture kills chemistry before it even starts. Now add dating apps to this. Apps promise infinite choice, but what they actually deliver is cognitive overload. Too many options, too many comparisons, too much pressure to optimize. Men swipe and get very few matches. Women get flooded with attention, most of it low efforts. Both sides feel dissatisfied for opposite reasons. And here's the quiet killer nobody likes to talk about. When intimacy becomes optional, effort becomes optional too. If you get stimulation without vulnerability through corn, content, AI, endless scrolling, your nervous system stops craving real connection. Why risk rejection when dopamine is one click away? Why plan a date when entertainment is frictionless? That doesn't mean men don't want love. It means love is now competing with convenience, and convenience is undefeated. Meanwhile, women are raising the bar, not because they're picky, but because they have to. When men show up passive early, women assume that passivity will continue. And honestly, they're usually right. Early effort predicts future behavior, so women that harder, ask clearer questions, set boundaries sooner. Men interpret this as pressure, women interpret it as self respect. Again, two different stories, same standoff. And then there's ideology. Men drifting more conservative, women becoming more vocal about values. Politics becomes personal, personal becomes incompatible. Suddenly, attraction isn't enough. You have to align on worldviews, lifestyles, emotional intelligence, communication styles, attachment patterns, and apparently also whether you like hiking or not. It is exhausting, so people retreat. They say they want love. Now, they don't organize their lives around it. Dating becomes something they might get to, like stretching or journaling. And here's the hard truth: the men who succeed in modern dating aren't necessarily hotter or richer or smoother. They're just intentional. They treat dating like something that matters, not something they scroll through while brushing their teeth. Effort signals presence. Presence creates trust. Trust creates attraction. That formula hasn't changed in 100 years. What has changed is that apathy is now socially acceptable. So let me land this. Dating isn't dead. Romance isn't gone. Men haven't vanished. They're just tired, guarded, confused, and often discouraged. Women aren't demanding too much. They're just refusing to carry the entire emotional load anymore. If this stalemate continues, everyone loses. But if it, but if effort becomes cool again, if curiosity replaces fear, if people show up with a little more courage and a little less ego, this thing can turn around. Connection still works the same way it always has. Someone has to care first. And honestly, that's kind of attractive. Peace out.